Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome back to Diary of an Olympic Triathlete. Although, as you can probably see, things have changed. I figured I just uploaded another video on the channel where you guys could clearly tell I was in the hospital, so I might as well update the Diary of an Olympic Triathlete as well. Because also it's been a week since the last one, and this is going to have some very obvious implications for my Olympic triathlon dreams. Basically, this means they're likely over. Um, to explain what happened, uh, this was so today's Sunday. Last Wednesday, it was maybe 2 in the afternoon. I was going out to do a bit of shopping, to get some groceries and I had to get a swim cap as well. And right as I closed the door behind me to go out and do said shopping, I heard the slam, and then I realized I didn't have my keys in my pockets. And I also, I was feeling there, no keys, no phone. All I had were my credit card and my debit card to do the shopping I had to do. So I had no way to contact anyone. As you guys know, I'm living in Spain, so I'm not living in my house. No one else lives in the apartment with me, at least not right now. So I didn't have a way to get back in. And I didn't have any way to contact anyone to get back in. So I was in a difficult position, let's just say. But I decided to make it a lot worse because I had the brilliant idea of my apartment is on the second floor of the building. I went to the back. There's a gate. And I had the idea that I could kind of get on top of that gate and then reach the balcony of my apartment. And the balcony, the door there was open. I could get in into my apartment and then grab my keys. Everything would be fine if that all worked out. And again, I should have taken a couple seconds to think of what the possible consequences of that could have been and the implications that those consequences would have for the triathlon and everything I've been doing, but I didn't. I started trying to get up on the gate. There's actually a guy there that was in one of the apartments on the bottom floor. I saw him, and instead of asking him to call the landlord to let me in, I tried to keep getting up on top of the gates. I failed a couple of times until eventually I was starting to make some progress, but then I slipped. My hand got caught on the top of the gates, or the top of it was a fence. On the top of the fence, on kind of like one of the spikes, and I'm not going to give too many gory details, but basically from about here to here, there was the kind of spike, cut into the hand. So it was pretty bloody, a lot of stuff visible. I immediately, told the guy to call an ambulance. We called an ambulance. I came here. I've been getting treated in the hospital here in Valencia. It's been very good care. I'm very happy with the care and everything, and also very happy that this happened here in Spain and not in the U.S. because at the very least it's going to be cheaper. If it had to happen anywhere. And also I'm very happy that it was my hand because I fell. So I could have broken or injured any number of things. The fact that it was my hand and not my head or my leg or my foot or anything, or, my hip, or it could have been so many things. The fact that it was my hand and my left hand on top of that is really miraculous. So I'm very thankful that it was only that and not, something else. And so, I came here, they did the examination. It ended up being, so no bones were broken, also miraculously. Really, it's just my index finger because my other fingers, they can move just fine. As you guys see here, my pinky's covered by the kind of cast, the plaster that they have on there. But all my fingers can move fine, just my index finger. My index finger, there's some nerves that are kind of split or a bit damaged, and then there's a tendon that's a bit damaged. So I can't really move it, and I can't feel, if you touch the tip of my index finger, I can't feel it. So that obviously has some effects. Right now, by the way, this looks very dramatic here. This is just elevated so that it doesn't get swollen because I was operated the first night I got in here. but that was just to close up the injury. That was so that the doctors could examine, see exactly what was damaged, and then so that they could clean out the injury, clean out the wound, and see what was going on. So that was the first operation. They need to do a second one, which is to repair all of the damage. That's going to be with a microsurgeon, and that's going to be next week. So I've yet to be given the date, but they told me mid next week is when I can expect. So we're looking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when I could get operated. And it's Sunday right now. I've been here since last Wednesday. So I stayed a couple of nights before. Before now, I'd never stayed a night in the hospital. Now I've stayed, I guess it's been 4. So it's been a while. It's been a while that I've already been in this hospital room here, and it's definitely been tough. But sorry, I can feel a burp coming on, but I'm not sure if it's going to come out or not. So I'm just, okay, there we go. We're good. Anyway, sorry. One thing is I'm very perfectionist with these videos. If there's any bad thing in a take, I usually delete it. And I'm forcing myself to not delete takes anymore because I'm just I don't want to put too much pressure on it. Just get the video out. Anyway, so that's what happened. Is my hand got injured, and so of course, pretty much the first thing I asked once the anesthesia wore off to the doctor, he came by and did a little examination and kind of explained what was going on. I was like, all right, so sports, when can I get back out there? What he told me was that it's going to be hard because, right, I have tendons that are broken. So what that means, they're not broken, but tendons that are affected. So they're going to do the surgery. And then he was saying for probably 2 to 4 weeks, or maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I can't do any sports really because I'm going to have an open wound, which means the sweat, if it gets in there, that could cause some problems and, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm going to be under some pretty, intense supervision. Every week I'm going to be coming to the hospital and they'll be supervising me and I'll be doing rehabilitation to strengthen the finger. But pretty much I'm going to just have to take it easy for a while, for at least 4 weeks. So at least a month. Right now it's April 14th. We're looking at me getting operated between the 16th and the 18th. And then it will be until that same time in May that I can, finally get back out and start doing anything athletic, really. And even then, it's going to have to be light activity, as you can imagine. They haven't given me all the info because it also depends how does surgery go, all that stuff. Fortunately, I'm someone who tends to heal pretty quickly from injuries, but you never know with this kind of stuff, But anyway, so they're going to operate me, and then I've been doing the research as well. So it's going to be, about a month until I can do anything. And then after that, it's going to have to be, take it easy. I could be doing maybe stationary bike and running, light running. Because those are things that don't use my hand as much. As long as I'm not feeling too much pain, as long as, if I can do it without pain and just, get the moves in. But obviously I can't do intense strength. That I'm going to have to work up to. But, some weeks that I could be doing that. So yeah, within 4 to 6 weeks, I could already, be back to working out for running and for cycling. Swimming is going to be really hard because swimming, I need to be in pretty much at full strength in the finger or very close to it. Because swimming, obviously, you're doing this motion with your hand. It puts a lot of stress on it. You're pulling water. Water is very dense. It's kind of a every swimming video you ever watch, they'll tell you water is 800 times as dense as air. So it's a lot of pressure on your hand that you're putting. And obviously coming off of an injured tendon, you can't rush things because if I do something to aggravate the injury, it's my hand. Obviously triathlons are cool and all, but my hand is for my entire life. Triathlons are just something I'm doing right now, So, I hope triathlons stay a part of my life for a while, but if that's going to be the case as well, I can't rush this. So, I'm really excited to do the triathlon. It's now 12 weeks away, but the doctor was saying you should probably start kind of getting the idea in your head that maybe not this year. I might not be able to do it because it's going to be complicated that I'm back in time to be able to. I'm going to do everything in my goddamn power to get to that triathlon. I'm already signed up. Everything's already arranged to do it. But I'm gonna be out of commission for training for at least a month, and then after that, I can start getting back to biking and running. Swimming is going to take longer. If my recovery goes remarkably well, I can maybe get back to swimming maybe a month before, because the race is the beginning of July. If by the beginning of June I'm back to swimming, what I've said is I'm going to do it. Because again, I'm going to do everything I physically can to still do this race. So if by the beginning of June I can start making those first, start doing those first laps in the pool, then I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to try to race that race. And, if I have pain on race day, that sucks. But I'm going to try to do it. So I'm going to keep the idea that this is possible until the very last minute. But if I can't, that's unfortunate, and I'll adjust my plans, obviously, and we'll try it again another time. But this is something that is exciting to me, that I would like to do, like I really like to do, and I just have to see what the doctors say. I have to do what they tell me. I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have to do what they tell me and just follow exactly what the rehab is, and give my body time to do its job, its recovery, because it's got me this far, and it's gonna be what takes me to the end. So I just need to trust the process. But it is pretty aggravating because I was training just a couple of days ago. I was training, I was swimming, I was running, I was all happy, and I had this plan ready for the next 12 weeks to train, and now all of a sudden, that's all done. No more training, nothing. And it sucks, because that's the only thing I want to do right now. Is I used to not even be someone who liked working out. I saw running as this chore, and now it's the only thing I'd like to do right now is go out for a 15-minute jog to clear my head, and I can't because that would aggravate this. And it sucks to be taken down by something like this, but that's life. You make bad decisions. Those bad decisions have consequences. You have to learn from them, and in the future, the next time this happens, I won't try to climb a fence. I've now learned my lesson. But unfortunately, that lesson, is going to have consequences. And, there will be other triathlons. So if I can't do this one, there'll be one in the future. We're just going to have to see what happens, but that's it. I'll keep you guys updated. The Diary of an Olympic Triathlete is gonna stay around. And I'll just be updating you guys on what happens with my recovery and all that stuff. And if I can't, I know at the very least I can get back to running. For sure, within the next 3 months, I can get back into running, or pretty much for sure. And so I've thought that even if I can't do this triathlon, I might try to do other things. I've thought of the possibility of, already as part of my training plan, I was going to do a 10K. So I've looked at just making that 10K my primary event. And so just focusing, once I can get back to running already, all right, focus on the running, use cycling a bit as well as, for cardio, and then just do running and swimming. We'll get back to swimming when we can do it. But just focus on running. Running is, my best discipline, and it's the one that I enjoy the most. So that, or even doing a duathlon, because if I can run, if I can bike. So I've been doing research on all kinds of races, or working on my 5K time as well, because I want to get a sub 24-minute 5K. And so maybe finding a 5K race that's, maybe once I'm back to running, give myself 8 weeks to, work back up to it. And then more or less the date of when the triathlon would be, do a 5K to try and, just have something to always keep me motivated and keep me pushing forward with everything. But yeah, that's about it, to be honest. There's not too much else. We're just injured, hoping for recovery. Next week, I'll let you guys know how the surgery went and keep you guys updated there. But I'm going to lower the arm now. I can lower the arm for short periods of time. Just not too long, so it doesn't, because it's elevated up here, just so it doesn't get swollen. But if I can move it around a little bit, let the blood flow. But yeah, so that's it. I'll leave the video here, and I'll keep you guys updated in the coming weeks. I'll be out of the hospital by the next Diary of an Olympic Triathlete, unless things go wrong. But yeah, that's about it. And then I'll keep you guys updated on how recovery is looking, and what the future looks like. There will be something athletic going on, so the Olympic triathlete dream is not dead, but maybe this specific Olympic triathlon is going to be hard. I've definitely, these days here, I've had a lot of free time in the hospital room. I've definitely been thinking about the future and trying to like visualize in 12 weeks doing the race. And it is a little hard to visualize it. Like it's a little hard to see that this hand is going to be propelling me through the water in 12 weeks, you know? Um, but anything's possible, man. Really anything is possible. So I'm not putting any limits on anything. I'm not tamping anything down. And a big part of it's the mentality. A big part of it is if you believe you can do it, you will get there. So I'm not going to get there in ideal condition no matter what. Like I would have loved to do a sub 3 hour Olympic triathlon, and I had these goals of doing it and like feeling really great. Definitely, if I finish it, it's probably not going to be sub 3 hour, and probably I might feel kind of like crap in certain parts of it because I'll have missed training that I was hoping to have. But for me, at that point, just crossing the finish line in any race within the next 3 months is going to be a miracle. So for me, that's what I'm focused on right now. Is just keeping positive, keeping focused on the future, um, and trying to just keep moving forward. That's about it. But now I got to go off lunch, so I'm going to leave y'all. But thanks for sticking along for the ride, everyone, and we will talk soon.